What's up, y'all?
All right, guys, we have Ethan here. If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll call on you. First question, Ashley.
Hey, Ethan. Kevin just said that DeWand, it looks like, is going to be starting at left tackle still, but just in his second game on that side of the line, just how do you guys think he did overall, I guess?
Yeah, he did good. He's getting more comfortable over there. I don't think he played very much left tackle in his life, so it's just, good to see him get in more of a groove over there.
Thanks.
All right, next go to Daryl.
Yeah, Ethan. Being 2-7, the offensive rankings being what they are, near the bottom in a lot of categories here. Just from your perspective, why do you think things haven't worked for you guys on that side of the ball, considering basically everyone is returning? You guys have played together before.
Yeah, I think we just got to execute better as players, and individually, we all have stuff we need to improve on, and I think just execution and then players working on what they need to work on.
And then all the injuries that you guys have had on the offensive line, just what type of a factor has that been? I think at 7 or 8 different combinations in 9 weeks, you guys have been forced to use up there.
Yeah, it's no excuses. We got to do, injuries aren't no excuse in this league. If you're out there, you're out there, and I think we just got to execute a little better.
All right, next we'll go to Jeff.
Ethan, how would you assess the morale of of the offensive meeting room there?
Yeah, well, Mondays after you lose are never good. We put so much work into it, and it's just not the outcome you want. But I would say the accountability and everybody just putting forth their best effort to get it fixed is a good thing. So like after a loss is the vibe isn't necessarily good. It shouldn't be. And then but I would say like the accountability and like the corrections and stuff was good.
But my point is coming into the season, so much was expected. I'm assuming you guys expected much of yourselves. So how deflating is this 2-7?
Yeah, well, we got a group full of fighters, so we're gonna make the corrections and then keep fighting.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Um, yeah, Ethan, last night, Miles was talking about that he was going to do certain things over the bye week to get better and to come back ready to help get this thing turned around some. Jameis kind of said the same thing. So I'm just curious, what is your plan over the bye week to make sure that you come back a better player?
Yeah, definitely gotta focus on the injuries that I've had and just make sure that when I come back, I'm the best version of myself physically and get healthy on this bye week.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
Ethan, you had mentioned the work that DeWand was putting in, the questions he was asking guys when he was preparing for that left tackle role the first time. Have you seen that increase or anything like that, knowing that he was getting this start this week again, and now that he's moving forward, going to be the left tackle?
Yeah, I've seen him put in a lot of work, like extra cardio, extra conditioning. Um, and I would say it's just always, you know, the same amount, 100%. And it's good to see that, and I think he's getting in more of a groove on the left side.
There's a lot of guys on this team that have been in this organization through adversity. One of those guys being Joel Batonia, who you're super close with. Have any of those guys maybe spoken up and kind of been leaders in this moment as you guys are 2-7 and trying to fight through it and fight back from that record?
Yeah, Joel's definitely an amazing leader. And we've had some talks and stuff, especially in the O-line room and stuff. And like I said earlier, we got a room full of fighters and we're just gonna keep fighting.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Ethan, with the trade deadline tomorrow, how much, not for you personally, but the fact that guys in the locker room could be traded before you come back again, How much is that kind of in the forefront of everybody's mind?
It's completely out of our hands, so I don't think many people are focused on that at all. Because it's whatever the team or whatever happens, and all that we can control is getting better for the next game.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go back to Mary Kay.
I'm sorry, I didn't have another question.
Okay, no worries. Last call for questions for Ethan. All right, thanks, Ethan. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Hey, Rodney.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, we talked to Denzel and Juan both about those miscommunications after the game, but I was curious, just from a mechanic standpoint, how does that happen? Is somebody trying to change the play that was initially called, and you guys are checking, and somebody doesn't see the check? Like, how does that happen twice, and obviously huge plays in the game?
Yeah, for it was really the second explosive touchdown that we gave up where the miscommunication happened. Just not everybody being on the same page. One, somebody obviously we had a check involved based on their formation. That was echoed. And then with the motion that took place, it then required us to kind of check out of now that call. So there were a few different communication layers involved in that. And what happened was you didn't have all 11 on one accord. And we know that when those things rise on the field, normally that doesn't result in positive plays on our side. And just understanding the time of the year, it being November, understanding the team that we were playing, they're very disciplined. And that's the way they're structured, and knowing that they aren't going to do things to beat themselves. They're going to capitalize on your mistakes. And, that was something that, again, they didn't earn and we gave away yesterday.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Ashley.
Hey, Rodney, along those lines, just is it surprising that knowing it's like year two in the system that those miscommunications are happening, or is it just something that can kind of arise at any time, no matter how many vets you have on a team?
Honestly, you can never take those things for granted. To be honest, it can happen whether you're a 13-year vet like myself or, a young rook, playing for the first time. And so, those are the things that we stress on a regular basis. And, it's things that can't happen. And so, again, for us, setting the pace for this team, and needing to be the answer, we can allow those simple things to hinder us from being the best version of ourselves and being who we believe we can be.
And then just at 2-7 now and going into the bye week, I mean, what's important when you have a team that has a losing record and just keeping that focus over the second half of the season so that guys aren't, checking out here or there individually?
Yeah, what's important is there are 8 games left. And so with those 8 games, there's a lot for us to accomplish. There and there's a lot of hope there. I believe we have the right men in the locker room that believe in one another. And I think that's what's most important. As long as that we believe and understand that we're guaranteed 8 opportunities, we make the decision on how we want those 8 games to go, and then we'll figure out from there where we end up. But this is a league that we know we've seen a lot of things transpire. We've seen teams win 8 straight and win a Super Bowl like Tampa Bay versus Tom Brady. So though that's what we have in our eyesight. It's, hey, we know this isn't the first half that we all envision, but let's take a timeout. Let's take a breath. Let's recalibrate and let's come back ready to make this push forward in these last 8. But at the end of the day, you just take it 1 week at a time.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
Rodney, you kind of touched on it there, but last night Greg said that getting back from this 2-7 record after the bye, it's going to be about pride and wanting to win and just showing that fight. For you, what does that fight look like? What does it need to look like coming out of the bye for things to go successfully in your eyes in that last stretch of games?
It's really not asking for much. Just do your job. Do your job at a high level. Do your job with urgency. Be urgent in the way that we practice. Be urgent in our communication, our technique, our fundamentals. It's really just doing simple better, at this point in time. And we talk about being a smart, tough, accountable, resilient team. All those things have to show face. But the way that we do it is we just attack everything one day at a time.
And then off of that, the accountability, and you talked about how this team has kind of gotten in its own way a lot of the times and shot
Mhm.
themselves in the foot, right? So does there need to be a bigger emphasis on the discipline for you guys, even just self-reflecting?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, today we did a great job at looking at that first half of ball. Coach pointed out examples in all phases of the game and just ways that we hurt ourselves. We were not, a smart team. And again, those plays resulted in negative outputs for us. And it helped them be able to win the game. And when you're coming down this stretch and playing in November, December, like those things matter. Like those very simple and minute uh points of emphasis that we talk about, what they have a great effect on the game. And so for us, it's just holding the little things close to our heart and making sure that again, teams earn everything, right? You can live with that, but when you do things that you gave them, giving away free lunch, we can't do that.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Rodney, just wondering, is this a kind of a tense time in the building with the trade deadline coming tomorrow? I know you've been through this so many times before, and I'm not talking about you specifically, but there's so many rumors about this guy or that guy that might be traded. So what's it like when you guys are moving about the building today, heading into the bye week, wondering, is it the last time, Z is going to be here or Q is going to be here or anything like that?
Honestly, we're just focused on just really who's here, who's present, knowing that we have no control over any of those things. And so what we focus on as players is, again, how can we do our jobs better in order to get a win on Sunday? And that's what we're here to do. We're here to win games, and we leave the rest to whose ever role that is, to be quite honest.
And what is your role in, you're such a veteran. What is going to be your role in helping maybe some of the younger guys approach these final 8 games of the season?
Yeah, really explaining to them the fact that the tape is important. We have our signature on every single game moving forward. We're all a part of this, and honestly, having them uh, really realize that there is plenty to play for, and just making that a point of emphasis, controlling, how I show up every single day, making sure that I'm, verbalizing the right things and I have the right energy. That's how I can, demonstrate, and just be, a great example for, the younger guys who haven't lived it. I've lived through seasons where I've come into a bye week, 4-7, and had to win 5 straight in order to get into the playoffs. So I'm coming from a place of possibility, coming from a place of like it's obtainable. Our mindset just has to align, and everybody has to have the right heart.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Justin.
Rodney, with that being said, and this being your last season in the NFL, would you, with the trade deadline approaching, would you be open to a trade, um, being that you guys are at 2-7 right now?
No, I'm riding with this team. I'm in the boat. I'm in the boat, man. And I'm not really looking to escape. I'm looking to make sure this thing stays afloat. And that, we get to shore, safely. And so I'm riding with my guys.
Thanks, Rod.
All right, next we have Patrick.
Hey Rod, with the bye week, just how important is it to find the balance of resting and getting your body right, getting your mind off football for a little bit, while also making sure to focus on the things that need to be corrected? And as a vet, like how do you kind of communicate that important balance to the younger guys on the team?
Yeah, I think it's very important for, us to all just step away for a little bit. We deserve that. Things again, we know where things stand right now, but you need a, mental break, just to focus on family, yourself, healing mechanisms, all those sorts of things kind of go into play. But understanding keeping the main thing, which is, more importantly, don't do anything to hurt the team through unnecessary actions, right? And that's the way you explain it, just being smart as we're away from the game. But yes, man, get away. It's needed, and knowing again we can come back more recharged and all better versions of ourselves. And of course, do some reflecting and figure out, how over the course of this second half of the season, we all can make better contributions.
Thanks.
All right, last call for questions for Rod. Good. All right, thanks, Rod. Appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it.